Hello friends, I am Professor Sanjay K. Bhadke, presently working in Department of Civil Engineering at Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. Friends, today we are going to discuss about the Transportation Engineering 1, a compulsory subject as per the RTM Nagpur University syllabus. I remember that in last class we discussed about the introduction part of this subject, and I already told you that this subject includes the uh, two division. One is a railway, one is a road engineering, and second one is bridge engineering. And also we discussed that there is another subject called as transportation engineering 2, which include the two division. One is railway engineering and second one is tunnel engineering. In last class we discussed about the various development and planning of traffic engineering, and just it is a part of revision. We discuss about the road and transport characteristics, classification of roads, developments of plan, what is the various network pattern those we are using for this road engineering, how we can collect the data, and what are the various survey that are used for the construction of road. And also we have discussed about the various network pattern which is useful for the road engineering. And there are some specific objectives of this subject, that a student should understand the development and planning of the highway, and what is traffic engineering, what are the various rules and regulations of traffic engineering. So all this we are going to study in these subjects. So this is just a revision which we have seen in the last class. We also discuss about the classification of road, how road are the classified. We know that there are three types of road. One is the reason, carriageway, and pavement surface. How they are classified, that has been seen in the last class. If we are going further, I told you that a road can be classified as a national highway, road can be classified as a state highway, and road can be classified as a ODR, that is other district road, MDR, major district road, and uh, VR, village district road. So these are the various classification which we already seen in the last class. So now we know that if we have to go for the highway planning in India, so there are three types of plan. The first plan is the first 20 years road plan. The second plan is the second 20 years road plan, and third plan is the third 20-year road plan. So I remembered that all these things were discussed in the last class. In last class, we also discuss about the Nagpur road plan. We also discuss about the Bombay road plan, and we also discuss about the Lucknow road plan. I also told you that there is a one committee constitution. This committee has been constituted under the Dr. Jaikar. So this committee has been called as the Jaikar committee, and this committee has given some recommendation, and on that basis, all the road construction has been done in the India. We also discuss about the Central Road Fund, and it is that road fund through which we can receive the various amount, and that amount has been equally distributed to the state for the constructions of various road. Then I also told you there is uh, one technical body which is called as the Indian Road Congress, and there are some aspect of the Indian Road Congress. This Indian Road Congress is a semi-official body. It is also called as a technical body, and it has been formed in 1934. All type of workshop, seminar, technical seminar which are related with the road construction, road planning, and road maintenance. So all this can be uh, carried out under this Indian Road Congress. It is one of the main recommendation made by the JICAR committee. It's provide a forum for a regular pooling of experience and idea on all matter affecting the planning, construction and maintenance of the road in India. IRC played a very important role in the formulation of 320th Road Development Plan, which we discussed earlier. Now, IRC has become an active body of national importance, controlling the specification, standardization, and recommendation of material design and construction of the road and bridges. The IRC publishes various journals, research, publication, standard specification, standardization, and recommendation which are related with the construction. And every year, this IRC body is organized various national and international seminar and conference related to the road engineering. So, student, you should know what is IRC, what are the various functions of IRC, and when it has been formed. So you should remember all these things. Now, today we are going to discuss about the Motor Vehicle Acts. In 1939, the Motor Vehicle Act was brought into the effect by Government of India to regulate the road traffic in the form of traffic laws, ordinance, and regulation. The three phases primarily covered are control of the driver, vehicles, ownership, and vehicle operation of the road, and traffic stream. The Motor Vehicle Act has been appended with the several audience. The Motor Vehicle Act has been revised in 1988. Basically, we know presently if you want to register your vehicle, if you want to take an license or any learning license, so in that case we have to contact with the RTO office. So all these uh, various laws which is given under this Motor Vehicle Act has been applicable to the every person, those are the road user. So we should remember that while using the road we should follow all these vehicle acts which has been made under Motor Vehicle Acts in 1939. Next part is Nagpur Road Conference. So already we discussed that under the JICAR committee, they have given various recommendations, and on that basis, there is a construction of the road. So a conference on the chief engineer of all the state provisions was confirmed in 1943 by the government of India at Nagpur. The initiative of the IRC to finalize the first road development plan for the country at the whole. So, in brief, I want to tell you that the Nagpur road plan has been started from the Nagpur. We know that Nagpur is the center of the India, so it has been decided that this construction, road construction, should be start from the center, and that's why the first plan which has been implemented is called as the Nagpur road plan, and this is a 20 years road plan. Like IRC body, there is another body which is related with the research of road or road construction, road maintenance. That body is called as the Central Road Research Institute, CRRI. So, what are the function of the CRRI? It is formed in 1950. It started in the New Delhi, and it is related with the various research aspect of the highway engineering. CRRI is one of the national laboratory of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The institute is mainly engaged in applied research and offers technical advice to state government and industry on various problems concerning with the road. Basically, we know if you want to do something, in that case there should be we should have the guideline. So what this IRC and CRR are doing, they are giving the various technical guideline for the construction, maintenance and design of the road. After that, there is another act which is called as the National Highway Act, and this National Highway Act, it is confirmed in 1956. The National Highway Act was passed. The main feature of this act are as follows: the responsibility of development and maintenance the national highway, which is called as NH, to be provisionally taken by the central government. The central government to be empowered to declare any other highway as the national highway or OMIT or any existing national highway from the list. Basically, we know that if we construct any road under the state, then it is called as a state highway. But if one road can be constructed from one state to another state, then it is called as the national highway. Basically, if you want to do the road construction, so there are various departments. If I taking an example of Maharashtra, so in Maharashtra, we have the MSRD department, which is called as the Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation, which take out the various activity which are related with the construction maintenance of the road. Same way, there is one another body which is called as the NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India. So this National Highway Authority of India, what it is doing, so it is taking the care of various construction and maintenance of the national road, and it has been formed under the National Highway Act. It is and formed in 1956. So all these things we are discussed in the last class. So now in today's class, we are going to discuss about the traffic engineering. What do you mean by the traffic engineering, and what are the various rules and regulations of traffic engineering? Basically, for the safety of people, for the safety of everyone, those are using the road, everyone should follow the traffic rules and regulations. So all these studies are come under the traffic engineering. So it is the phase of engineering which deal with the planning and geometric design of straight highway, abutting lands, and with traffic operation, as they are using related to the safe, conventional, economic transportation of the person and goods. So basically, traffic engineering is also a part of transportation, and in traffic engineering, we are going to study in details how we can design the road, how we can carry out the maintenance of the road, what are the various design factors that we are using in the road constructions or bridge construction. So all these parameter has been covered under the traffic engineering. So basically, if you're taking the example of traffic engineering, so there are three rules which is called as the three A's of traffic engineering. Basically, what do you mean by three E's of traffic engineering? These three E's are related with the safety of users, people, public, those are using the road. We know that every year there are a lot of accident, and through this accident there is a many loss of the human being. But each and every person taking a responsibility, personal responsibility, and following all the rules and regulations, so there should not be the accident. So we should uh, give the informations to everyone. Everyone should know the rules and regulation, and everyone should follow the rules and regulations so that we can minimize the accident. So the what are these three E's? The first one is enforcement. Enforcement matlab, there are various traffic laws, there are various traffic regulations and control, and all these traffic laws, traffic regulation, and traffic control should be followed by the various members, those are using the road. Second one is education. It may be possible by the sufficient publicity through the school and television. It aim as improving the human factor in the traffic performance. We know that on the school level there are many program which is related with the road safety engineering. Many departments are conducting many program in the school and colleges, and they give the knowledge to the students about the various rules and regulations related to the traffic. So this term come under the education part. And last one is the engineering, the construction of road, the design of road, the maintenance of the road. So all these terms comes under the engineering for what we are studying this subject. So these are the three E's of engineering. One is enforcement, second one is education, and third one is engineering. So everyone should remember all three E's, which may give us direction how to use the vehicles on the road, how one can make their own safety on the roads, and we should educate other people about the traffic rules and regulations so that we can minimize the road accident. So we know that while we are using the road, there are some traffic control devices. So everyone should know and everyone should have the knowledge of this traffic control devices. So various aid and devices used to control, regulate, and guide traffic is called as the TCD. That is traffic control devices. So it's include the signs. So there are three types of sign. One is a regular sign, warning sign, and information sign. Again, there are various types of road signals which can be classified as a fixed type of signal, manual operated signal, traffic acute signal, pedestrian signals, special traffic signals. Also, we know that when we are on the night journey, in that case, there should be some marking on the road which can give us the direction. So this marking include the pavement, curb, object, a reflector unit, and delineators. We know that various types of white color marking, yellow color marking, various types of radium lights, all these are uh, situated on the road. So the main aim of this marking that you should get the direction. A road user, a driver should get the direction, and there should not be any type of accident. So to avoid the accidents and to provide the safety to all users, various types of signs, signals, and markings are available on road. And it is my humble request to all the students and public that everyone should follow this TCD, traffic control devices, so that there should not be any type of accidents. So you can see in this figure, there are various types of traffic signal. So first one is a regular type of signal. So when we are moving on the road, there are some type of signal. Uh, they like that you can take the right, you can take the left. So these all are is called as the regular type of signal. Warning signal. You have to stop there, you have to minimize your speed. So this type of signals are called as the warning signal and information signal. The school is ahead, the hospital is ahead, slow your vehicles. If you are find this type of signs on the road, then it is called as the informatory types of signals. Now we are going to discuss about the traffic signal. So what is the definition of traffic signal? The traffic signals are the control devices which could alternately direct the traffic to stop and proceed at the intersection using red, green traffic light signals automatically. Basically, we know that when we are moving on the road, there are three types of signal. One is the red type of signal, second one is yellow type of signal, and third one is green type of signal. So there is a indications. The green indicate that you can go, red indicate that you have to stop, and yellow indicate that you should ready to go. So everyone should have the knowledge of this traffic signal. The main requirement of traffic signal is to draw the attention and provided meaning and time to respond. Basically, if everyone follow this traffic signal, so we can minimize various accident on the road, and also it is a time saving and bonding. Now what are the various advantages of the signals? So there are the various advantages of the signals are listed. They provide orderly movement of traffic and increase the traffic handling capacity of most of the interaction at the grade. Reduce accident, notably right angle collision. Pedestrian can cross the road safely at the signalized intersection. The signal allow crossing of heavy traffic flow with safety. Signals provide a chance to crossing traffic of minor road to cross the path of the continuous flow of traffic stream at responsible intervals of time. The quality of traffic flow is improved by forming compact platoon of vehicle, provide all the vehicles move at approximately same speed. Automatic traffic signal may work out to economical when compared to the manual control. So these are the various advantages of signal. Now we are going to discuss about the disadvantage of signal. Fast moving vehicles may cause rear and collision at signalized intersection. Improper design and location of signal may lead to violation of control system and failure of signal due to the electric power or any other defect may cause the road accidents. So these are the some disadvantage of signal, but we should not discuss in the uh, deep that what are the disadvantages. Basically, if we think there are many advantages of signal and everyone should follow these rules and regulation. Now, what are the various types of the traffic signal? So already we discussed that one is traffic control signal, fixed type of signal, manually operated signal, traffic automatic signal, pedestrian signal, and special traffic signals. So these are the various traffic signal. Those we can use for the signaling. And what do you mean by marking, or what are the various aspect of the marking? The road or traffic marking are made of line, pattern, symbol, or reflector on the pavement, curb, side of the island, or on fixed object within or near the roadway. Traffic marking may be called special sign intended to control, warn, guide, or regulate the traffic. Marking are made using the paint. Already, I told that there are various types of white paint lines or yellow paint lines on the road. So normally for the marking, we are using the various types of paint. The right reflecting paints are also commonly used for the traffic marking. And in order to ensure the marking are seen by the road user, the longitudinal line should be at least 10 centimeter thick and so on. So you can see on the road there are various types of marking, and that all these markings are the thick or thin types of marking. And how these markings are the classified? So these marking are classified as a pavement type of marking, curve type of marking, object marking, and reflector unit marking. So these are the various types of marking that we can classify. Now we are going to discuss about the various parking system. So everyone knows what is the parking system, how are the vehicles are parked. So there are two type of parking system. One is the on street parking, and second one is the off street parking. So if you are going to the market, we can see that various vehicles are parked on the road, and some vehicles are parked on the beside of the malls. So these vehicles may be parked in the 30-degree angles, 45-degree angles, or 60-degree angle. Or we know that some vehicles are parked parallel to each other. So these are the various types of parking system, which has already I told that which are having two types. One is on-street parking, and second one is off-street parking. You can see in this figure there are various cars. So in first figure you can see the all these cars are parked in a one line. So this type of parking is called as a on street parking. So here three figures are there and all the cars are parked there. So all this parked as a on street marking. So here you can say, already I told, if you are going in the mall, so we are providing this type of marking. So this marking is a 30-degree marking, 60-degree marking, 45-degree marking. And for the this marking normally we are using for the as a parking slot. uh, and The main use of this marking as a parking slot is that by parking your vehicle in this angle 30 degrees, 60 degree, 45 degree, we can save the space, and we have more vehicle for the parking slot. So you can see in the right side there is various parking layout has been shown with 30 degrees, 60 degree, 45-degree, and 30-degree. uh, 30-degree. So main name is there's if you are doing this type of parking, we are getting more space, and there should not be chances of collision of one vehicle to another. So now this is our third figure. Now we know that this is a modern days, and now we are changing the pattern of marking. Uh, in some cases, there is a circular marking and multi-stage marking is there. In second figure, you can say there is a number of cars are parked in a circular way, and this is a multi-stage marking. Some cars are parked to parallel to each other, and some cars are parked parallel and perpendicular to each other. So this is the pattern. If we park our vehicle in this way, so it is time saving. We will get a lot of space, and also we can minimize the collision of one vehicle to another. So, student, thank you very much. Today we are discuss about the introduction part of transportation engineering. Already in the last class, we seen the various classification of road, and today, to addition to this, we are discuss about the various rules and regulations of traffic engineering, how traffic engineering is useful to reduce the accident, and what are the various types of parking, or how parking should be done. So all these things were discussed in today's class, and I hope you can understand today's topic. And in next class, we are going to discuss about the geometric design which is required for the road construction. Thank you very much.